I don't know this. So Big hit me the day it drops. I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, what up, bro? He's like, oh, so you dropped that clip, huh? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, a lot of people been hitting me. And I couldn't read his energy because we were on the phone. So I'm just thinking, and we kind of talked a little bit more. I said something like, yeah, man, it's just going viral. He's like, yeah, it'll pass. Or something will happen. He
Yeah,
said something
yeah,
to that tone like,
it'll pass.
hopefully it'll pass. And I hung up and I'm like, damn, Big Boy said he don't do interviews. He's probably not fucking with it. So I hit my team. I'm like, dog, we might have to take that clip down. They're like, yo, it's doing numbers. It's at like 7 million already. I'm just like,
Alrighty, Big Boy up in here is about to get uncut, ladies and gentlemen. Now, recently I had a chance to sit down with Stack 5, Matt Barnes as well for All the Smoke. Matt, first off, man, welcome to Uncut once again, bro.
Man, it's a pleasure.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you in here, man. Usually with Uncut, I'm just kind of just hanging out, talking about things as like current events. And current events for us is us sitting down with All the Smoke.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. And you know, it's a trip.
I've been trying to get you for a minute. Not to cut you off.
I
I've
know.
been trying to get you for a minute.
That's what I was going to say, man, because I remember last season, you were like, oh, man, I think with that, the Quick was last season, right?
Yep.
You're like, man, we got 3 more shows, and I knew I couldn't make it. But I think it was God timing, man.
Yep.
And to come together now and get Uncut for All the Smoke is amazing for me.
I love it.
Y'all do a great job over there, man.
I appreciate it, man. We've been building. We've been building something special. We started with Showtime about 4 years and some change ago. And just recently left because, the whole Paramount buyout.
Right.
They kind of cut our side, which was cool.
Which is
we
beautiful.
We
That's a
planned
blessing in
on
disguise.
bouncing anyway. So we built All the Smoke Productions, been hiring some great people. And we've been running on our own for like a month now. So we actually, that's why I was running late. We're doing our thing is called Unplugged. So we do a weekly show too.
Yeah.
Exactly with what you're doing right now, which is crazy. So
Damn
that's why
it,
I
we
was
should have
running
went
late.
with Unplugged. Take all this shit down.
But no, I mean, shout out to DraftKings, our new partner. Just
my God,
did a great deal with DraftKings. Great deal. Teamed up with Metal Lark, John Skipper, former boss over at ESPN, and Dan Lebitard, former personality. Teaming up with their production company, and we're tasked to help build out their fast channel.
How long you been in the podcast? Like,
man, 4
area?
years, maybe.
4 years.
Yeah,
I'm celebrating 30 years this year in radio.
Congratulations.
And you guys have passed me up.
No,
No, really, man. DraftKings, you passed me up. You know what I'm saying? You already had me beat when y'all got it with Showtime. And now to leave Showtime and still be smiling, that show you it's a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and man, I wish I had something to leave.
Come on, man. We got to do something together. Let's get it, baby.
Remember you said that. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so All the Smoke, we had a chance to sit down, man. And I love the way that you guys run the show. I love the interview. I love the way that you guys back up and let the guests speak. And I would say the biggest viral moment for me is when you said, and it was pretty much paraphrasing, but you said,
in the far side.
hey, man, and you were like, man, is this urban legend? You was like, it could be true. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but it was about.
You like the way I set that shit up, right?
Yeah. But it was heartfelt. and you were like, did you hide a gun in the folds of your fat? And I had to explain it.
I was bodyguarding the far side, right? And when I was bodyguarding the far side, we had to go to the Bay Area to do some shows like Souls of Mischief, And so OJ is on the fucking 405 that day. So we're watching this. We're missing planes. The guys don't want to leave. They're glued to the TV.
Yeah, the world was.
So now we get to a point where we can't fly. We like, forget it. Let's just rent a van. So one of my guys go get a rent a van. Now I already had a gun on me. Right? So I figured, I'm like, man, if we're going to drive up, I'll just take my gun with me. So we drive up. They do the shows, but now they want to stay with Souls of Mischief to do some recording. So I'm like, all right, man, well, I'm going to get back to the crib because I was still doing other things at the house. So I was like, I'm going to get back to the house. I said, man, when y'all get home, drive my gun back home. I flew back home. I left it in the van. Now I have my other gun on me while I'm going to go pick up the gun that I had with the far side. So I got my gun, go pick up the other gun. I'm driving back. As soon as I get to Culver City, boom, they lit me up. I had 2 warrants for my arrest already on some other small shit, small like traffic shit, right? And so I always told my brother, I said, hey man, if they catch me on these warrants, I'm just gonna do the days. Don't bail me out. Just let me hold on to the cash. All right, cool. That's an understanding. They come up. I'm in a white Astro van that I just bought, not knowing that when I bought this van, I bought it from this dude from 30s, right? I don't know the van enough. So they sit me down. They go through my van. My man comes back to me and said, "Where's the gun at?" I'm like, "I don't have a gun." So my man told me that in my seat that there was a slit because it had these captain chairs with this material. When you pull the material up, dude cut a slit in there, but it was empty. So now, where's the gun? Because you had a stash spot. I don't have a gun on me. Now he comes back frustrated. Stand up. I stand up. Now he's behind me. And he's literally going like this to me. Like tap, like pow, pow. My man, tow truck come, they take my van, he links me up, takes me to it's Culver City. I get in there and just make a phone call. I call my brother Mouse. I like, "Mouse." I said, "Hey man," I said, "you need to come and get me. They got me on these warrants." "Wait, what's going on? You told me don't bail you out." I'm like, "Mouse, come get me." I get out, I'm walking down the steps, and he's still trying to talk to him. I said, "Hold on for a second." We get down the street. I go under my stomach and I pull both guns out.
Yeah, 2, not 1. Yeah.
And what happened?
You the illest nigga alive, dog.
When they lit me up, I slid both the guns under my stomach. And when dude was patting me down, he never lifted my stomach. If I would have went to the county jail, they strip search you. So I had to make bail before that county bus came.
Hey man, what were you thinking, Matt, when you were listening to that story?
Crazy shit I've ever heard.
Really? Yeah.
No bullshit.
Right.
No bullshit. And it also took me back because I got messed with when I was in Manhattan Beach playing for the Lakers, so I know how dirty the cops are. There's a lot of racism in Culver City and Manhattan Beach when it comes to the police officers. So to hear your story and to hear that shit, it was like,
yeah, man.
And like I said, you're not someone who talks. So like, you and I talked about this before. Like you don't really do interviews, and you said last time you did interviews, some weird energy was in there.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing I want to do. I wanted to make sure you felt as comfortable as possible. So we had a conversation. Y'all don't know this, so Big hit me the day it dropped. I'm like, oh shit, and I was like, what up, bro? He's like, oh, so you dropped that clip, huh? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, a lot of people been hitting me. And I couldn't read his energy because we were on the phone. So I'm just thinking, and we kind of talked a little bit more. I said something like, yeah, man, it's just going viral. He's like, yeah, it'll pass. Or something will happen. He said something to that tone like, hopefully it'll pass. And I hung up and I'm like, damn, Big Boy said he don't do interviews. He's probably not fucking with it. So I hit my team. I'm like, dog, we might have to take that clip down. They're like, yo, it's doing numbers. It's at like 7 million already. I'm just like, shit. And then he hit me again later that night, and I was getting ready for a Kings game. I don't know if we talked then,
right?
But I still kind of felt like, damn, he must not like the clip. So I told my dude, I'm like, just take it down. And it was at like 9 million at the time. I'm like, take it down. Like my whole thing is like, I want you to feel comfortable.
Yeah, man.
This, and that. So then Big hits me the next morning, like, did you take the clip down? I'm like, Big, you wasn't fucking with it. Like, I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable. I thought he was. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, so we took it down. He's like, oh, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's like, good thing we archived it. So I got, hey, we gonna re-release it and re-tag you and everything. But, I mean, to this date, that thing's done like 14.5 million
yeah, man.
views.
I think I got like 14.5 million calls. And, I'm not a comment reader, Matt. So I was able to like, man, realest story ever.
Right.
I didn't know that. Even with people that said I didn't know that Big Boy was a big boy.
Someone just told me that this morning in the gym. I did a 6 a.m. workout, and it was one of these new little comics. He's like, man, the way you framed the question was great. He's like, to keep it real, I didn't know Big Boy was big, like big.
Yeah, man.
It's like, oh yeah, like a lot of it got to a different demographic.
Yeah, and I just thought, yeah, exactly so. And I thought that the way that it was cut up, it was just, man, you got a great team over there.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And I gotta ask you, and I know the answer. Where did you get the question from to ask? Because I never really talked about that.
Hey, you my dog.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to the person I'm about to have to tell on. It's the homie Preston.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's the
And
homie
see,
Preston.
I worked with Preston for many. I've known Preston for decades
so
now.
Preston is cousins with one of my best friends from UCLA. So I've been like, I always had the inside scoop because he was messing with you at the very beginning when I got to LA.
Say? Like,
so I didn't talk to him. He talked to one of our other producers, Jelani McCoy, who was also another UCLA dude, and kind of just broke down the story. And it had in parentheses, they're like, Matt, if you feel the energy's right, ask him. So that's why I framed the shit that way I did to almost make you feel guilty, like you need to tell us about it.
Right.
Because I thought I know you're private and you don't do these interviews, but I thought I knew if that story got out, it would go crazy.
Right, man. And then plus, I'm such an excellent storyteller. It's not just the way you ask.
No bullshit. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
such an excellent
if you read the
storyteller.
comments, you would see like Big's one of the greatest storytellers ever. So the way you narrated that shit was like a movie.
Yeah, man. My brother Mouse, who I talked to, when that's the one who I called when I was arrested for the warrants, right? And I had the 2 guns under my stomach. And I told him, I said, man, he was like, yeah, he said, everybody's sending it to me. And I was like, Mouse, I said, man, I'm hoping people don't think you didn't understand the code.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I
it
didn't
was
take it
just
like
more
that.
so like if my brother called me, I would think Culver. I'm like, man, are they in there whooping his ass? Are they? Why does he need me to come and bail him out? He had no idea that I was sitting in there with 2 guns under my stomach, bro.
Sweating.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and that could have been the long one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that could have been the extreme long one, bro. And like I said, as soon as I got home, I got the call for radio. I got the radio
Change your
call
life.
literally hours later, man.
That was God giving you that next. You're like, come on.
Yeah.
This is not really your.
Yeah,
got something
man.
for you. Let's get
And
right.
I told God, I said, man, if I get this, never again. And then I called it a real case. Yeah, man. Yeah. And that one was a gun possession case.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, man, is Big, as long as you've been here, and I've been here since I was 18, like, to me, I'm going to take a chance catching those cases just because it's so crazy out here now. Like, you got a lot of love out here. I feel like I got a lot of love out here, but you just never know.
Right.
You just never know. So, like, then I would rather, I'm going to protect myself and my family.
I heard
you know what
that.
I mean? So.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do now.
That shit changed your mind.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Plus, they own me now.
You
know what I'm saying?
Right?
They're like, man, he don't have no folds to put it in
Where's
anymore.
That shit at? Yeah.
Is it in his ass? like pull your pants down. Let me check on your buttocks. Yeah, man. And we also had a chance to sit down, man. And you know, before I move on, it was at one point when I said I reached under my stomach and I came out with the 2 guns, right? I remember, man, Stack was like, you was like, not 1, but 2. And then Stack was like, man, you the realest ever. You know?
Yeah.
Because people didn't or don't see certain sides of you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it was told well. I told the story to the right guys in the right room, and I don't have to retell it.
Yeah.
You know, I got hit up for somebody like, oh, we wanted to, you know, like, and I'm like, man,
It's there.
it's right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything that you're trying to do is trying to capitalize or put me in a twist. I even had people like, man, you're not worried about, you know, getting arrested for that? I'm like, dude, that's 30 years.
Right.
And then plus I got the wherewithal. If anything were to happen, I'd be like, man, I lied to them.
Right.
Like,
People do it all the time.
Yeah. Like, I totally lied to
Yeah.
them, man.
All
You know.
lies.
Yeah, and then I got some people where they were like, oh man, you messed it up for all of us fat N-words out there.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
I seen
like,
that.
sorry about that, man.
I seen that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
and just pushing through also, man, we had a chance to speak about Nipsey. You know, and that Nipsey clip, man, that's a clip, Matt, that even when we played it back on our radio show, it's hard for me to listen to.
Yeah, man.
Because when you asked the question, I wasn't prepared. It wasn't like, I just was like, oh man, I could feel these emotions coming up. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm an emotional guy for the right reasons.
Right.
And to me, Nipsey was that right reason. You know what I'm saying? So even when I spoke on Nip,
Man. Nip was Nip was like that was another one, bro. Like Nip was real hard.
You had a close relationship with him too.
Yeah, that was a hard one, man. Like just, you know, how good brother was, you know. And just the way he was in the room with everybody. He looked at everybody. And you knew he was special. So that was a hard one. You know. That was because it's crazy because, you know, I have a chair in my studio. And that chair is like, it's my interviewing chair. So if I'm here, the guest is right there. That chair, Andre Harrell, Juice WRLD, Nipsey, DMX. Anybody else? Mac Miller, like Juice. I said Juice WRLD. Those are people that sat in that chair that were in studio that's not with us anymore. But with Nip, man, Nip was like, I missed the what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? The phone calls or him always trying to lay like a book on you. And you know what I'm saying? You thinking hip hop, this dude telling you to go read Socrates or some shit like that. But he just really, he was always good in the room. He looked at everybody. He talked to everybody. And he was wise beyond his years, man. So wise beyond his years, man. And that was just a hard one, bro. And not only was it hard, he died in a social media climate. I didn't see nothing too crazy about Pac. I didn't see nothing too crazy about Big. But I watched a video that I wish I'd never watched with Nip. You know what I'm saying? And watching that and knowing, his family and knowing, Sam, it just hit hard, bro.
Matt, did you know Nip?
Yeah, man. Actually, I got Nip tatted on my hand. Him and Pac. Two of the most realest, down to earth. Saw the growth in Nip. Loved me. Nip getting a chance to meet Pac. So I met Nip. It was crazy. So my brother always used to put me on the music. So when I came to the Lakers, I think it was 2009, 2010, or 2010, 2011. Anyway, my brother's like, you gonna fuck with this dude, Nip. Trust me. Sent me his shit. And I just started listening. I was like, oh, so this is Twitter time. So I hit him on Twitter. He hit me back.
Yeah.
Invited him to a Laker game. So I'm not going to say that me and Nip were like kicking it all the time, but we saw each other maybe a handful of times when he used to have the little white drop top Mercedes and he would be in the South Bay when I was playing for the Lakers. He would invite me to when he was doing like them little small club venues.
Right.
So I'd be up in there not knowing about LA, but not really in the mix. So I'm up there with all them 60s.
Yeah.
Smoking weed. They're like, is that Matt Barnes from the Lakers over there?
You're
Smoking
like, no,
with
it's not.
It's like, no, that's his brother. But anyway, so got a chance to meet him then. He came out and did a birthday party for me in the Bay one time, man. It was like I said, it was just mutual respect. And oddly enough, Big, when I'm coming home off the 405 and take my exit, there's a gas station right when you get off the exit. And I literally pulled up one day behind, I think it was his Phantom. And all I could see was a little skinny ass leg with a chuck and a long white sock sticking out because he was pumping gas and I'm pumping my shit. So I go around and he gets out and it was him. And oddly enough, I hadn't seen him in some time, maybe a year or so, 2 years. And I just kind of told him like, bro, I'm proud of you, man. Like I remember when you was driving around the white Mercedes and we kind of laughed and just like to look at you now and what you've been doing, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
it's a beautiful thing. And then 2 weeks later, you know what I mean? I get chills talking about it. 2 weeks later, man, he's gone. So again, just different. He was different. Nip was different, man, and how authentically you explained it. And we kind of hit you with back to back because the first question was Kobe.
Yeah.
So that kind of got you a little, like I could tell that was kind of, and then the Nip kind of put you. But I just feel like, man, that's the real authentic raw emotion you're not going to get from an ESPN or you're not going to get from anywhere else. That's the kind of environment that people kind of want to see us in, having real conversations, being vulnerable, and really discussing just life and how precious and how real it is, with the stories you were telling. So, I say all that to say, man, definitely miss Nip, sending love out to the family, Sam, Lawrence, Sam, the whole crew, Adam.
Do you remember where you were at, Matt, when you heard?
I was cleaning out it was on a Sunday, I was cleaning out my pantry. And one of my homeboys, Ray Young, came through and like, Nip got knocked. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? Like literally, like chills. Almost felt, when someone told me Kobe died, I froze, chills, like what? Nah. And I'm thinking like those are, to the world, obviously Nip got a ton of recognition post-death. The world knew Kobe, but for people who really are, California natives, West Coast natives, like we lost two superheroes.
Yeah, man.
Like back to back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like, damn.
Yeah, those blows were hard,
Yeah.
man. And those blows were they were just felt different.
Yeah.
And even though and the relationship you had with Nip, the relationship that I had, of course, with Nip, there's people, man, that never met Nip, but they knew Nip.
Right.
They felt him,
Right.
either through music, through lifestyle, just, trying to push us all together, just ownership, the way that he was a thinking man, you know, and it's wild because I remember the day that Nip passed. I was driving home. I had just had like a comedy show that weekend, and I wanted a promo video from Nip, and we didn't get around to getting the video. So literally, I'm driving home, and I'm like, oh man, when I get to the house, I'm gonna text Nip. And I'm going to say, oh, I'll call him, text or call. Oh, I didn't need you anyway. Oh, you know, we sold out. Just messing with it like how we get down. And it happened to be March 31st that day because my mom passed on the 31st of March. So I was literally on the 405 driving from seeing my mom. By the time I got home, I went upstairs and Fuzzy called me. And Fuzz was like, hey, man, he said, I'm over here by Marathon, man. He said, everything is blocked off. He said, and the bird is in the air. The helicopter's in the air. I said, man, try to see what's going down. So Fuzz hit me back a couple minutes later, and he was saying, he said, man, everything is like blocked off. Everything's blocked off. So he said, I'm going to try to get close and see what's going on. He called me back, and he said, man, I heard Nipsey got shot. So immediately I called J-Rock because if Nip is there, J-Rock. So when J-Rock phone didn't go through, when he didn't answer, I thought, okay, man, what's going on? So I started calling other soldiers. And I got a confirmation from one of the brothers, man. And when he said it, I wasn't looking for, remember, I think I hit the team too. And I said, man, did y'all hear anything about Nipsey? So, of course, they go online. Nothing's online, you know. And then, man, it couldn't have been, 10, 15, 20 minutes later? It was everywhere. It was everywhere.
To see his evolution from Bullets Ain't Got No Name to Victory Lap. And he was just getting started. But to see his evolution and his growth, that's why when you say people knew Nip that didn't know Nip, because he spoke about where he was at, and you continue to see the growth in him as a musician, as a man, as a father, as a businessman. I mean, he was one of those. He was going to change the world. You know, you think like Pac could have changed the world. There's guys you think that could change the world, and definitely Nipsey comes to mind with that.
And Nip took us with him.
Come on, man.
And you did mention Kobe as well, man. Like you and Kobe, y'all had a personal relationship somewhere, teammate relationship, and opposing teammate relationship.
Yeah.
What was your relationship with Kobe in kind of a nutshell?
When Kobe first got to LA in 96, I got here in 98 with UCLA, and, you know, it's well documented. He was kind of a little bit of an outcast and kind of quiet to himself, so he was always on our campus. So I would just see this dude come work out after we get done working out, like, motherfucker, like Michael Jordan. Like, that's Kobe, you know what I mean? Like, to kind of just to get that, that's Kobe, you know, he's around eating everything. Fast forward, get to the league, I'm excited because I've been a fan of him, watching him, like, go through his stuff at UCLA and continue to get better. You know, when I get on the court, that's the man. I missed MJ by a year, so Kobe was the guy. You know what I mean? So I always took that as just an amazing challenge. Always had mutual respect. I wouldn't even say we were really friends at that point, just mutual respect. And that Orlando ball fake shit happened. Yeah. We almost got in a fight. And then he calls me that summer after they won a championship, talking about, you know, anyone crazy enough to fuck with me is crazy enough to play with me. Do you want to be a Laker? I'm like, hell yeah. So I think from there we went from competitors to teammates. And then once we became on the teammates, we were inseparable. People used to tell me, like, you're the only one that used to get Kobe to go out. I didn't go out a ton either, but they're just like, Kobe would never go out. But me and Kobe we told a story how we went out in Milwaukee one time, of all cities. You know, it's like me and Kobe we were going through some similar stuff at that time in our lives and just really bonded. And then obviously post-career, him coaching his daughter, me coaching the twins. Right. You know, they're 2 or 3 years apart. And Kobe, like, everything was out in Orange County. So Kobe would always hit me up, hey, you guys in this tournament? Yeah, what time the boys play? Sometimes big, and this is when the twins are like 8 years old. Kobe would come 2 hours early to watch the twins play. Like, we play at 9, they don't play till 11. This dude would come 2 hours early to watch some 8-year-olds play. Right. You know what I mean? We got video of it. It's crazy. He met Ashton, you know, when Ashton was a week old. She probably shouldn't even had him out the house, but he met Ashton and everything. We got that on video. Then right from the twins game, we go watch Gigi play. You know what I mean? So I think from, you know, kind of competitors to teammates to brothers to, like, real brothers. You know what I mean? He used to always send the twin shoes every time they dropped. So he was Uncle Kobe, and he was like really the homie. But some people know that story, but people thought because of the shit in Orlando that we didn't fuck with each other.
Right. Did you feel like there was a different phase of y'all relationship post NBA him coaching the girls, you coaching your son. Did y'all have a different dynamic of the relationship?
Just the fatherhood. It's
Yeah.
to be able to see all sides. I think the world saw the Mamba. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was blessed enough to meet Kobe, the
Yeah,
person,
man. Yeah.
the father, the businessman, and being one. You know, we were sitting down right before we interviewed him, and he was so adamant about like putting the first 20 years that the world's known him behind you. Like, bro, you're Kobe Bryant. You're like, you're a 5-time champ. People aren't gonna forget that. He's like, no, wait till you see what I'm gonna do in business. Like, I
Right.
got this. And then I'm writing. He was in the middle of writing a book. It was crazy.
Did you feel, and nothing lasts forever, man, but did you feel like Kobe was going to last forever?
Superhero, like superheroes don't die.
Right.
I mean, superheroes don't. Kobe was a superhero. Like, you know, the sport lost a hell of a competitor, and LA lost, you know, someone we saw Kobe grow. You know what I mean? But you just don't feel like superheroes are going to die, and especially in their early 40s.
Yeah,
and
man.
especially, you know, the whole circumstance with other children. Obviously,
Yeah,
his
man.
daughter and other kids involved. It was just a very unfortunate situation.
I felt like I started to see Kobe more after he retired.
he opened up.
Yeah.
He opened
You know,
up, big.
because it was the same. You know, we
Yeah.
would see him at games.
Yeah.
We'd see him in the gym.
Yeah.
We'd see him at Mamba, see him in Arizona. Like
Yeah.
I saw him a lot.
Yeah.
So much so, Matt, that when we were at Mamba Academy and Jaden had a game, and so we were talking. It was like a weekend thing. So we were talking, and I watched the girls, and he came and he watched, you know, Jaden and them get down for a bit. And the next day, that day I didn't get a picture. You know what I'm saying? Just on some dad stuff. And I knew that he was coaching. So he was like, oh, man, you can come get that whenever. So the next day I was like, I'll go talk to Cole. I'll get the picture, so on and so forth. Because we had spoke the day before. My kids took picture with him. But I was like, oh, it's just for the babies, you know? And so the next day, I was like, man, let me go holler at Kobe. So when I saw him, Chula, my daughter Jade, wanted to go get some ice cream that took me like 20 minutes away to try to find this ice cream that everybody was eating off of TikTok, right? So I was like, all right, let me go do this with her. When I came back, Kobe was coaching his girls. So I gave him the space. And I was like, oh, I'll see him next weekend. And that next weekend, we didn't see each other. Then the following weekend is when he passed.
Yeah, man.
You know, do you remember where you were at for Kobe as well?
I was at my house in the Bay. I had houses in LA and the Bay at the time, and I took our whole little team up there, the Twins team, to the Bay because we wouldn't get no Bay run, and people was talking mess, Northern California, Southern California. So we went down there and played a game, and it was another Sunday morning, championship Sunday, and I'm downstairs with some of the dads in my little man cave, kind of, you know, pre-gaming and watching. The kids are all upstairs playing video games, messing around. One of the dads says, Kobe just died. Fuck up. Hit the joint. He's like, nah, bro, like, Kobe was in a helicopter crash, and right when it happened, you hear a bunch of different names. We talked about it on the show. You heard Rick Fox, Robert Horry, who's on the, and I just froze. And I froze with that one for like 30 minutes. And by the time I went upstairs to see if the kids knew, like, I walked up to the very top, and some of the boys were kind of still playing the video games, but I saw the Twins had tears in their eyes, like they had already known. And like I said, like, I came to the Lakers when the Twins were like 4 years old, and from the jump, hugged them. We always used to play about girl dad, boy dad, twins, even up into our last kids both. He had a girl right before I had Ash. But he'd always give them shoes and send them all his new shit, send the team the new shit. And literally right before he passed, he had redone one of his shoes, and we had just got him to go to that tournament. That was the first tournament we wore him in. And he, you know, ends up passing a few weeks later. And then obviously, you know, I showed the world this, but for the Twins' 10th birthday, I surprised them and took them out to Orange County, and Kobe worked them out and made one of them cry and all this kind of shit. So, like, he was really, like, I got to see another side. I got to see
It was different.
the cool side and how important he was to my boys, too, and the way he used to show love. So, you know, obviously, you know, Vanessa still has kind of picked up where he left off. She still looks out for the Twins, even though they're 15 now, and she's still sending them stuff. But it was just again, another hard one. Again, you just don't think superheroes are going to go.
It's a hard reality, too.
Man.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard reality, man. And when I was speaking about All the Smoke, and I was talking about how we were pretty much, you know, running 2024 when it came to the viral thing. We went. And then Cat Williams came.
Ooh, did he?
Yeah, he say anything about you?
Nah.
Oh, well, he got
I'm
more
cool with
interviews.
Cat. I'm
Yeah,
cool with
same
Cat.
here.
I'm cool with
Same
Cat.
here, man. But damn, man,
He let off a whole clip, big.
yeah, he did, bro. Yeah.
A lot of it, again, not being any there. I know Cat. Me and Cat been cool for a minute. Always been a solid dude. He one time when I was playing for the Clippers, quick story, 2:30 in the morning. I'm living in these condos in the marina. Me and Deshaun Jackson are neighbors, a football player. Chilling, smoking, watching Sports Center, I think, and I hear a knock at the door. It's hard to get in our complex. Knock at the door. It's Cat Williams, of all fucking people, big 2:30 in the morning. He comes in, rolls up some weed, paces back and forth in my little condo, telling jokes for about 30, 45 minutes, and then bounces.
And then left. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck just happened, bro?
Just as
Just
soon as
like a ghost in the night. He's out of here.
Came in and worked out some new material.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, bro. But to get back to the thing, like, I mean, people pull receipts, you know, and I think, you know, Puff, I be staying out the way and out of people's business, but I think this Diddy shit opened the door. Harvey Weinstein started when people started just coming out and being like, hey, my experience is this. The Diddy stuff kind of opened the door, and I feel like Cat Williams kind of kicked the door in from a standpoint of, big, we all know we've been in, whether it be the NBA, the music, radio, there's a lot of grimy shit that goes on behind the scenes. And I think people are starting to kind of empower and embrace, like, my experience. You know what I mean? This has happened to me behind closed doors, the dirty biz. You look at Pat McAfee, you know, one of the biggest personalities popping on ESPN right now. He's calling out Norby Williamson for a dude that, you know, someone in a suit that's trying to, you know, be a hater and kind of, you know, fuck his program up. You know, McAfee, you know, I've had a great experience with ESPN, but this particular dude keeps trying to sabotage us. So I think the days of, like, the suit and ties running shit and the sneaky shit and you're going to get this part if you do this to me, I think that shit is over.
And plus, it's a different outlet now.
Come on, man. Anybody could tell their story.
Bro,
look right into your phone.
It's too many gates for all of them to be kept now. It is too many gates,
I
man.
think dirty business is going to start going by the wayside slowly but surely. Because it just said too many people are tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we see this coming.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, this is just the beginning. But he gave it to Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, like
it's tough.
Michael Blackson.
What do you think? Because I think from a standpoint, I think obviously, like, the way shit goes viral and everyone starts talking about it, I feel like people get kind of like, I don't want to call the word sensitive, but they're bothered by the platform it also came from. You know, so whoever he was talking about, they got mad or frustrated or played it like they wasn't mad. They're kind of looking at the platform it came from too. You know what I mean? And it's funny, you said the same thing I said. Like, although it broke the internet, like, I value my relationships too much. I love the fact I can call anybody and be cool because they know where I'm coming from. And you said something to a similar tune when we were talking about this off air. Like, you know, ratings are great, environmental moments are great, but not if it comes at a cost of losing the people that fuck with you or respect you or
relationships.
Look up. Yeah, come on, man.
Do you think Shannon Sharp got a hard time from it?
I don't really, you know, I really don't pay attention to it. You know what I mean? I just try to stay in my lane and make sure that, you know, what I'm doing is right. You know, like I said, we went viral with you for the right moments, you know, for telling a funny story. You know what I mean? An intimate story that you hadn't told nobody. So, you know, I'm not knocking nobody and their antics and the way they move. I'm just saying I just know that being in LA long enough, when people look at where it also came from, like, whose platform did that shit come on? You know what I mean? So,
do you look at a lot of social media? Because you have to.
I do, from a standpoint of kind of just staying engaged with what people want to see, what they don't like. Not that I kind of feel like we have a great vision and our recipe has been great, but who's to say that, you know, sometimes critiques here and there don't help. So I don't try not to indulge in it. You know, I've been someone who will also let off a whole clip on social media, and Instagram took my shit, and now they're shadow banning me, and I've been stuck on 1 million followers for like 4 years now. So I got to kind of watch my mouth, and I'm just getting older now. But yeah, I do look at comments, good and bad, and kind of just check the temperature, because I mean, this thing now is the new form of content. You know what I mean? And we're really working, although we have our own shit now, we're working for our you know, our audience, which is everyone on here. Right. You know what I mean? So I just feel like you still got to check the temperature. It's cool having boys that are our boys' age, because they keep us somewhat fresh with the lingo and the shit going on too. So I just feel like you have to stay relevant, you have to stay evolving, or you're going to get rolled over in this game.
Do you miss playing basketball, man?
I don't.
Really?
I just went to a courtside game the other than the Clipper-Laker game, had a blast, and I kind of missed that moment. But overall, big, I just feel like, you know, I played 15 years, made a lot of great relationships, but I felt like I was missing too much. You know what I mean? At the time I retired, people don't know, like, I signed a 3-year deal the year I ended up retiring, so I got paid for 2 extra years, but at the time I wasn't getting to see my kids. You know what I mean? So just, I felt like at that time I, you know, played so much basketball, missed so many moments that it wasn't worth it for me. So even to this day, you know, DraftKings is a little disappointed in me and a couple other, like, nothing comes before. If I can make my kids game and it's not life or death for me to be gone, I'm a be there, you know. So nothing comes before my kids now, because before my whole job was dictating my life and the way I moved.
Did you keep anything from any of like your the Lakers?
No,
you had
I
uniforms.
gave everything away, bro. I
Do you
wasn't
regret
really
any of
even
that?
no. Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, I got jerseys from guys I played with that I really and I played with a lot of Hall of Famers, so I kept some stuff. But as far as like the gear, because I was never someone that was gonna wear gear outside.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not he plays for Lakers, then has I was never really one of them dudes.
But
like,
you
when we
never
travel,
kept
maybe,
any of your uniforms?
I've given a lot of them away. I maybe have 2 of my jerseys left. But no, that's it's if you're the homie, the dream is let me get a pair of practice shorts, let me get a pair of socks, let me get the jersey, let me get this. So it's just always like, take it, man. So that's kind of just how it was.
Let me tell you why I ask you that too, man, because I had a relationship with Tupac, right? And you know when people would come to the station, they'd be like, yo, what's up, it's Tupac, you listening to Big Boy's Neighborhood, that kind of thing. So I had those drops. When Pac passed, I deleted all the drops. And I deleted them because I was like, man, I'm never going to play these again. It'd be disrespectful to play those, and all of them are gone.
I feel that, but just to be able to go back and hear it.
Yeah, when you fast forward, that's why I was asking you, do you now that you don't have it,
I
do
got
you ever think?
Kobe jerseys. I got Shaq jerseys.
From
I got
Kobe and
Allen
Shaq?
Iverson jerseys. Yeah, I played with a lot. I got Steph, KD, Clay jerseys, Draymond jerseys. Like I got dudes I played with CP jerseys.
Right.
So I mean that's kind of the stuff that like I played. You know, I played with, you know, a handful of different teams, but I got a lot of amazing relationships.
Draymond quick to choke the shit out somebody. Yeah.
Man, ain't he?
Yeah, man.
Ain't he? That's my dog. I mean, I just
Yeah, it should be because you used to choke the shit out of people.
he been taking this shit to a new level. But
yeah, he is.
I mean, in his defense, like it's just like that same thing that people want to, you know, critique or he may get in trouble for is the reason why the Warriors have 4 championships. Like as great as Steph is, Clay, even when they had KD, they don't win no rings without Draymond. And I say that with all due respect to everyone who was over there. So it's just like, you know, the same thing to make you laugh, make you cry sometimes. So from a standpoint, we just never know what Dre is going through, man. I was at a point in my career when I was with the Clippers, and the reason why I got traded from the Clippers, or maybe one of the reasons why, I was going through a very public divorce. Some shit was going on, you know what I mean? And Doc Rivers said some slick shit to me, and I almost fought Doc that day. And then, you know, that was at the end of the season, and then as soon as I was the first trade of motherfucking trade deadline hit, 12 o'clock hit, I was on the wobbles out of there. See, I mean, I say all that to say you really never know. And probably if I wasn't going through what I was going through off the court at that time, I wouldn't have been so quick triggered to try to whoop my coach. You know what I mean? So you never really know what is going on, whether it's off the court shit or frustration or what it is. So, you know, I think Draymond knows that he's got to get himself under control. You know what I mean? It's you never want the outside noise to be louder than the noise you're making on the court. You know what I mean? So I think from that standpoint, I think he knows. He's smart, very intelligent dude. Just signed a new deal with the Volume. Shout out, you know, Dre for his new show. So, you know, I'm wishing the best.
Hey, man, Matt, I don't know how to respectfully ask this question.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but I don't know if I asked you this question before, but I'm almost hesitant. And this isn't a joke. I mean, it could be like, oh, okay, but how do I say this? Okay, my producer Jason. All right, Jason Ryan, my producer. Love him, right? When he was getting married, I sung at his wedding. I sung 1 in a Million, and he ended up getting a divorce.
Bad luck big.
So you know where this is going.
Yeah, I'm not interested. We want you guys to come to the engagement party and to the wedding and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't want you to sing.
Okay, there it is. All
Yeah,
right.
it's all good.
Yeah, because I sung at my boy Joe Grande's wedding, same thing.
I might need you to
Hey, you know, I
wanna
sung
get
at
some-
yours.
Huh?
You know, I sung at yours.
You did. Did you really?
Yes. And you were the last one I sung at, and I knew, like, man, am I
Did
bad
you?
luck? Yes, bro.
I remember, bro, a quick crazy story. Right before we went in and got announced, we all took Molly. Like, we
Okay,
all
so
ran
you
to the
probably
room.
don't.
I don't
shouldn't
remember
even
at
say
all.
nothing.
I
You
didn't
probably remember.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. But
Yeah.
God bless where you are now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, actually, no, great rebound. I didn't know you sung at the wedding. I didn't know that's where the story going. I thought you were asking if you can sing at the
I'm definitely
upcoming one.
No, I'm definitely
We
not
gonna pass
singing
on
that.
that. Yeah.
You definitely pass.
You really sung at my first wedding?
Yes, bro.
That's great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Bad luck big.
Yeah, at
Ain't that
singing
some
at
shit?
singing at the wedding. The wedding
Yeah.
singer stuff is over. Well, hell, Matt, sorry about that. But no, thank you for coming in,
Yeah.
man. Always a pleasure to hang out with you, bro. And like I said, man, you guys got such a great thing that's going on over there with all the smoke. And I see that you brought cameras in right now,
Yeah.
man. Is there anything we could talk about on
Yeah,
that? Like,
we
as
have.
much as you can?
I appreciate you first of all letting the cameras come in. We're shooting the Barnes Bunch, so we shot a reality TV of my blended family, all 8 of us.
Oh, wow.
And it's coming out on We TV mid-March. So we've been shooting. You see the cameras here today. We've been shooting for about 2.5 months. So
the
we're
Barnes
almost done.
Bunch.
The Barnes Bunch. I feel like, unfortunately now, like, blended is the new norm.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I
is,
mean? If
man.
you're fortunate enough to have 2 parents that you were born with and they're old and crazy, that's a blessing because that's
Right.
not the norm anymore. So I had the twins. She had her 3, and then we had Ashton together. So we got 6 crazy kids.
Oh, my
and it's going to be a roller coaster of just opening up our doors. Big, I did the first time with my ex-wife with Basketball Wives, and that shit was a nightmare, and it was a lie of what they portray it was supposed to be. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That shit was terrible. So this time, coming back around, Jamie Foxx's team approached us about, just what I told you, like, blended is the new norm.
Right.
We love, all the stuff your girl posts, and she knew, Datari, shout out Datari, and we made it happen. So, I was a little hesitant because of the first experience, but, this is a little bit more controlled. There's not the outside drama that drives the
Right.
show. Like, it's just, we have enough drama
Yeah,
between
yeah.
our kids and
Y'all
me
not
and my
throwing
girl.
water in each other's face
Nah,
and-
we not. So, we're taking a real chance, but, we just wanted to show, we think we're very relatable.
Right.
I'm when people meet me, Big, I'm cool as a fan. I'm signing
Yes, sir.
autographs. I'm very down to earth. I do my own shopping. I vacuum. I do all that kind of shit. And I just think we're really a relatable, crazy, loving, fun family. So yeah, you can check that out on We. I think it comes out mid-March.
I heard that. Congratulations.
Appreciate
I
you.
remember I saw you over the holidays. Remember we saw each
Yeah,
other in the mall?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were just walking by ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're probably thinking like, damn, Big walking by himself. And I
Yeah.
remember I walked on like, damn, Matt walking by
Yeah,
himself.
nah,
And-
man.
and you
doing
can't disappear.
doing dad shit.
And you're like, what, 6'8"?
Yeah,
So
no,
somebody
ain't no
see
hiding.
you, they know
bro,
that
I'm
you.
taking 50, 60 pictures in the mall. Like, so I try to walk fast with my head down. And
Right.
just go.
And it doesn't help when I'm on the other side going,
Yeah,
Matt Barnes!
yeah.
Matt Barnes! Matt Uncut, Big Boys
Man,
Uncut,
appreciate you,
man.
baby.
Once again, Matt All the Smoke. Make sure you guys check it out as well, man. Thank you guys. And make sure you also continue to spread the love.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe. Don't just watch and look at clips. Subscribe as well. Uncut, we go.